Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. Welcome to another episode of Rewind with Besa. Today's actually a really dope interview. I've been wanting to interview him for a minute and I finally got my wrist. You know, manifestation is a good thing when you do it right and you actually work, okay? We got the Rain Man, Shawn Kemp himself in the building, literally right here at iHeartRadio, okay? So look, we're going to bring him in as soon as we jump into this intro. Hello, Shawn Kemp. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Real quick, do people really walk up to you and be like, "It's the Rain Man" still?
Absolutely.
And do you
Every day.
do you love that still?
I mean,
Or have you just
it's
gotten used to it?
identification.
Yeah.
So you got to roll with the punches. I learned early on. You treat people like they treat you.
I love that. And I think that with Seattle, we love our sports so much.
No, absolutely.
Like we don't even have to know about the sport.
Right.
We can know nothing about hockey, but I love it. Know
No.
nothing about baseball, but I love it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people around here didn't realize that Seattle was going to be this major sports city.
Yeah.
But it's definitely become that throughout the years. It probably wasn't like that when I first got to Seattle, but it definitely has become that. I think with the amount of electricity that was created in the 90s, things have continued and even grown in ways that we didn't even realize they were going to grow. As far as it's like soccer
Yeah.
and hockey,
Yeah.
of that aspect. So I think the fan base around here, we're just starting to realize what it is.
And I think that just speaks to so many things of what this city is. I always tell this people that our city is a big melting pot.
Right.
It's like whatever you thought Seattle was, it's that and like about 5 or 6 other things.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
even
is.
10.
It is. I mean, it's such a strange city, because there's so many, there's so much smarts to this city, and then the cities have so many struggles.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like a lot of other places. You got to be able to balance this out, or else you'll start to struggle in life. And that's what this is all about. It's about balance, man. Being able to balance your work and your lifestyle together.
Yeah, man. And this is like a random thought. And I feel like you were one of the players that came. It was when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Cleveland High School,
Okay.
and someone broke into our locker room and stole all the black basketball players' jerseys.
Is that right?
And some of the Sonics actually came by and gave jerseys to the players.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
I
Yeah.
was like, that's crazy.
No, but I mean, that's what, being in part of a community, that's what happens,
Yeah.
first of all. And Seattle definitely has a strong community around here. So usually, people in the community generally pick up where others have left off or where others are hurting. Therefore, and I think you see that so much around here where you've seen people struggling and other people come in just to help out or put a smile on someone's face. So I think that's what Seattle is really known for, face value. As other places, we have our problems, but I think face value, I think Seattle is known for definitely helping out people.
Oh, absolutely. And there's just so much money in this city. Like, how could we not? Like, it would almost be weird if the city didn't do things to help others out. And speaking of that, I was wondering, at this point, and I want to talk about this a little bit more later, you're on your second dispensary, right?
Right.
Within that, have you been paying attention to the social equity programs that are going on?
Absolutely.
What do you think about them? Because some people are saying that they're dope. I've heard other people say that they feel like it's like a scam, and I would love to know your thoughts, being that you're actually in the industry.
Well, I think when it comes to social equity, first of all, it's some people are going to have this opportunity to become store owners, and this is such a tough situation because if you allow a person to become a business owner of something where they don't have much experience or much support, they're generally going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
They're generally going to fail. So my concerns is that some of these people may have these licenses, but they may not know exactly what to do with it for it to last for a long period of time. It's one of the reasons why I took my time getting into the cannabis business. When the cannabis was legal, I didn't just jump into it. It's about the relationship and the knowledge and working with the people who can teach you things. And I think that's why I waited. I really wanted to work with somebody who was going to teach me some things that could last for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Because also, part of this is to create generational wealth,
Absolutely.
which I think it goes exactly back to what you were saying, to where it's like, if you don't know what you're doing with this, you might just mess around, sell it, and then now you've really lost all your money.
No, absolutely. And I think, like with myself, I, in the state of Washington, you can have 5 stores.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to have 5 retail stores as an individual. And, having 3 stores left, I think I would probably be patient on my buying any more dispensaries and to wait to see if some of these people who would get some of these social equity licenses maybe would want to team up with me, because I would love to help some of these people out who would get those licenses to make sure that they had that generational wealth.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we could help out. So, there's a lot of do's and don'ts to it, but absolutely, I think that's, when it comes down to those licenses, man, you really got to have your things in order for you to make progress.
That makes sense. And, it's one of those things where, from what I heard, it's so much money that comes in to where you could really fumble a good bag if you're getting those millions in and you don't know what to do with it.
Well, absolutely. And I just said, but also the laws. I mean, these licenses can be taken away from you breaking laws or doing some things that are, not on paper. So you have to be really, really careful, make sure things are in order, make sure that things are done right. There's so many taxes that's involved with this. You really have to have a great team. It can't be one individual. It has to be a great team. And I think that's why, like us at my company, we all know our roles. And that's what we focus on. We focus on our roles, and then that way we can make something good happen at the end.
I actually was watching an interview, and I want to say it might have been one of the interviews for your new Soto store. And I want to say it was like a co-owner or something of that nature. He basically said you all work your way up through the company to where it's like you start from the bottom, and then you work through just about each and every level, so that way you understand the whole business, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's what we do, man. We try to bring people in, and we start them down at the bottom, and they as a bud tender, and you work your way up. I mean, that's how you gain your stripes. Absolutely.
It's also a different kind of appreciation because, I actually started on the street team here.
Right.
So I started in 2015, carrying the tents, setting up the tables, being outside, doing all that, to where now I'm on in 5 different cities.
Right.
So it's like there's a different appreciation, I think, for any company that you work for when you know that you really started from the bottom and had to grind, work, learn, actually be mentored, be willing to be told, okay, you could have done this better. Okay, I actually need you to brush up on this a little bit and not always get your feelings hurt.
Well, absolutely. And I think that's part of the grind of business that some people have and some people don't have.
True.
And, and it's just so true, man, is how bad do you really want it? If you're really willing to learn and listen, you will, take the time and go through some of those measures. If you get impatient and you don't, then sometimes those things won't work out for you. A lot of people quit. In this business that I've been in, I've only been in it just for a few years, but I can tell you this. I mean, if you really handle your business, these people grow, and they grow really quickly. And I've seen it happen. I've worked with people, and even including myself as a guy who came in who was owning a small percentage of a store, who now owns a big percentage of a store. And that's how it works. You want that education on how to do certain things, and you want the appreciation for the people that you work with also.
I love that. Now, your new store, the original one is in, I guess you would call that Belltown area?
Yeah, it's at Belltown. It's kind of first and Denny area in Seattle. It's it's the lead way going right into the Climate Pledge Arena. It was something that I had thought about. We thought about when we put that store there, is that we had the Sonics in our mind, thinking that one of these days that that team is going to be coming back, and we definitely wanted to be close to the stadium. Maybe not right next door, but close to it. And the second location is in the Soto district. And when you're doing these projects, sometimes the one thing that you want to do, they always say location is everything. you got to have good parking. A lot of times if you don't have great parking, people don't generally want to stop at your location. So we're a little bit down the street, but hey, it's close to the stadiums, and we can almost see the stadiums in sight. So it really works well for us in the Soto district because we feel like we've covered both sides of town pretty good now.
And then, just from even where we're at right now, it's pretty much down the street. Like, one time I rode a scooter there.
So you one of the ones that be running the red light out here?
No. I don't. I live downtown. Look, let me tell you something. If you've never been to Seattle and you get on one of those Lime scooters, you are really bold if you are in the middle of downtown Seattle. Absolutely. And you are running like
I always
people
tell
do
people,
not care over here.
Check the brakes before you even ride the thing, please. If you get on the scooter, at least check the brakes.
Oh my God. Now, question, I've been seeing a lot of stuff, and I've actually done some reporting over this, over all the different dispensary robberies and break-ins.
Right.
I don't remember where it was. It might have been like Lakewood or something. Somebody ran into one of the stores. I was like, what is going on here?
Well, I mean, these are tough times. I think this is the world that we live in today. Is that these are tough times. We have people who are sometimes doing very well in life, and then we also have people who are struggling in life, also. And this is what we're going to get. So I think, when you come to the city of Seattle, one of the things that you recognize is the homeless. Mm-hmm. It's a problem, and somehow in this world we have to learn how to treat people who are struggling better. Mm-hmm. We have to give them avenues also to be able to work their way back into the normal life. And when they don't have those avenues back into the normal life, these are the things that happens. I mean, you see people robbing constantly. You see people complaining about the police force and of those natures. And then things just, it seems like they just go downhill from there.
Yeah, and it just almost doesn't even get better. It's just like worse and worse and worse. And then there's like these new drugs that are out here, like the Trank one. I said, what is this?
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. Unfortunately, they made cannabis legal, but then they made 10 other hardcore drugs.
Like, it's almost like a counterproductive thing. Where it's like, I'm going to give you something good, but I'm also going to jack everybody else up with this potentially.
Absolutely, and I think that's what happens. I think people sit from the outside. When these cartels, they sit from the outside and they say, this is an opportunity for us to come in and really penetrate and make some money. Because that's what, at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar when it comes to the drug stuff. It's all about the dollar. So, we having a license to sell cannabis, I'm always aware of those things. Definitely the store getting robbed. So one of the things that I wanted to do when I got into this business was put these stores in a secure building, in a secure building, semi to protect the workers, but semi just to protect the investment. Mm-hmm. And then I think, at the end of the day, that takes care of itself. And hopefully the respect that people have from it, we won't face some of those battles. But I surely feel sorry for some of the people that are going through some of the things that they've went through with the robberies and unnecessary violence that happens to the stores and the cannabis business.
Yeah. Now, quick question. With your new store, just in case anyone's curious, are you guys still hiring if anyone wanted a job?
We're always hiring.
Okay, that's good to know.
Absolutely. We're always hiring. We're always looking for better people to work with. Absolutely, bro. So, the thing about working for us at Shawn Kemp, you got to be persistent about it. So if you don't get a call right back, be persistent about it. Send in another application. But absolutely, we're always looking for better people out there to better ourselves.
Now, have you thought about opening up in like Portland at some point, or would you think it's too oversaturated in Portland?
Well, I think Portland market is a little tough, but absolutely, I think what you'll see me probably do is go out to some of the rural areas maybe and do a business, but also venture out into some other places. I mean, one of my goals is to be able to do this all up and down the West Coast. Mm-hmm. So to be able to have a store, absolutely, in the state of Washington, but also like Portland, also California, also Arizona, Nevada, of those natures. So we're just getting started doing this, really. We're just getting started doing this. I'm I'm able to sell these products in the store here, but I'm also able to go to the other cities and other locations in different states and create my own products, my own individual products. So the business is just now growing. So we got a long ways to go, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, question, how hard is it to create your own individual products without having to grow your own flower?
Well, it's not very difficult at all. It's not really. It's not, and to be honest with you, a lot of these people are very, very good at what they do. You got to be crafty. You got to have a lot of knowledge of the game. But, there's companies that has cookies. Cookies don't have a farm. They don't do any growing.
Really?
Yeah, cookies don't grow any weed. No, they are a packaging and a manufacturing company who go through sources to buy their cannabis, and then they're able to make things happen by being creative on their designing packages, and just being very, very active social media wise.
So it's like very much so distributor type things.
Absolutely.
Or vendors, if you will.
Absolutely, they're like the king. They're the king of it. So they do absolutely no growing.
Now, what would you say is a huge misconception of owning a dispensary?
Well, the huge conception is that people don't realize there's so many laws.
Like you were saying, yeah.
Absolutely.
They just think they can open up and...
Yeah, and I think people think sometimes that you have this free range of doing things your way, but you really don't. There's so many laws that you have to abide by. And even me, I have to be careful even accepting product from people. So, there's so many laws that you have to abide by. Makes this tough at times. And you really have to stay active and have a good notion with the public and have people coming in out your store, because some, like I was saying before, some of these weed stores won't make it because without the public's input coming back and forth and buying product, the business is not going to survive.
Yeah. And
that's why your business plan has to be on point, and everything that you do, from your business plan to your to your counting your products, to following the laws, to your taxes. There's just so many rules. I didn't realize there was so many rules, but you have to make sure you abide these rules because your license can be in jeopardy.
Like at any time?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
I've seen guys lose their license for doing, really, some careless things. So definitely, you can lose your license. And, losing your license is losing your money.
That part. And we don't have time for that in 2023. Like, did you recently see the price of eggs? Like, I don't know what's coming next, but
Well, I tell you what, they say the price is going down, so that's what they're saying. So this is probably a good time for
maybe it's just
people
the
to
stuff
start
that I buy.
researching these prices out there.
My stuff be expensive. I'm like, it's how much for this vape? Lord. But it's all right. Random question. Have you ever thought about going into like the shroom business, since that's now starting to become a whole new world, and people are saying that it's not as saturated as cannabis, but there's a lot of money in it?
It is, and I know people love those shrooms, man. And me, I've never taken a mushroom. I haven't got to that point yet, but never say never. But I haven't taken one yet. But I think, I think people need to do a lot of researching when it comes to that. Just make sure you know what you're ingesting in your body.
What's up, everybody? Me and Besa, my girl, we had to pull up to Market Street Shoes once again, y'all.
And we do this every season. We have to get the new shoes, the new boots, and this time I even got a coat.
Yeah, no, you did walk in without a coat.
I really
I'm glad
did.
You found one. But their boots were on point.
Yes, the boots, the bags. I even grabbed a flannel.
Yeah, you did. And I was able to get some hats and everything. I was really impressed.
And I was impressed because, of course, I got those white boots that you guys see me wearing everywhere these days.
Yeah, no, I look at your white boots and I'm like, darn it, they only have one pair. Me and Besa wear the same size. Of course, every time we walk out with several bags in hand.
Several bags and sometimes even a backpack, you guys. Make sure you check out Market Street Shoes.
Yeah, please check them out. Where they go, Besa?
Ooh, 2232 Northwest Market Street, Seattle, Washington. we were talking about the city getting a basketball team again. What type of heartbeat do you think it would add to the city once it came back? And better yet, we get another team. Would it necessarily be the Sonics?
Yeah, it's going to be the Sonics. You know, they kept the name, they kept the history of the Sonics. You know, so it's going to be the Seattle Supersonics. The colors are going to be green and gold. The team is going to come back. It's just about things working out for the NBA, and then they're making an announcement. I actually think it's probably the TV rights deal is what they're waiting for.
Oh,
So, NBA is smart about their business. So I'm sure once their TV agreement is figured out with the collective agreement between the TV station, the cable stations, and the NBA, I think that would probably be the right time for them to say, hey, we're going to bring in 2 new teams. And that's what we're hoping that they name, and they say, like Las Vegas and Seattle.
yeah.
You know, but, I think it's in our face and we don't really see it at times also. And what I mean by that is that when you see a guy by the name of LeBron James, when you see him say he wants to be an owner of a team, and here's a guy who's just broke the record in scoring, well, I would imagine that he will probably be the owner of a team. I mean, he's created great wealth for himself as an individual and his family, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't the owner of the Las Vegas team in the future. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And but I ask myself too at the same time, well, he can't play and own a team. so I think
It's a bit of a conflict.
I think something's going to have to give, and I don't know how many years LeBron wants to play, but I think I heard in his interview when he broke the record, he said, he still had a couple good years left. So I think, if he probably won another championship or something like that, he would probably be ready to retire.
Have you talked to any of your former teammates about getting a team and coming together and doing that yourselves, or?
Absolutely, and I can tell you, I can't tell you everything, but I can tell you this. When it comes to the Sonics, things are getting lined up pretty good, and they haven't announced it or anything of that sort, but I'm quite sure they know who's going to be the owners and around this area. I think it's not a hidden secret with some of the guys that have really done well in this area. So I think you'll see some players own part of the team, but also you'll see guys like myself still wanting to do something with the Sonics once they come back to carry that tradition around too.
Well, shoot, I never made it to one of the games, so I will be there.
No,
as soon as this opens, I am pulling up. I don't care if I move out of city. I am going.
And man, we got this beautiful arena down here at Climate Pledge. Only thing they're missing is a team at this point in time.
Yeah,
they
really have the whole locker room and everything already.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're here in Seattle. We're ready, but I don't think they're quite ready in Las Vegas yet. So hopefully once they get their building and everything start to going in the right direction, hopefully it'll be an announcement. That's what I'm hoping. So generally the way that they do this, we'll wake up one morning and they'll say, hey, we got 2 years until opening day, as they did the hockey team.
Interesting. Okay, so let me ask you one more thing, and this is so random, but when was the last time you went to Pike Place Market and caught the fish?
Last time I went to Pike Place Market and caught the fish was about 6 years ago. And I'm due for another fish catch. And Gary Payton is coming to town on February 24th.
Ooh.
We're gonna have to go down to Pike Place Market and redo that fish throw and see if I still have the hands to be able to catch that flying fish the way I used to.
I love it. Okay, so we're going to do something I like to call 6 randoms with Besa, all right?
All right.
Number 1, your favorite spot to get sushi.
Oh, I'm going to say my favorite spot, best place, Umi.
Umi, I haven't been there yet, but I've heard of it.
Mm-hmm. Umi's good.
Okay. Next one, your favorite weed strand.
I'm gonna say, well, I'm an indica type person. When I like bacon buds, they got something called Pressure. It's a real favorite of mine, but also like Freddie Swago too. You know, so yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I might have to check out
Yeah,
some of
Pressure
those.
from Bacon Buds.
Now, is it gonna have? Would they have me couch locked, or would I just be comfortable?
You're gonna be comfortable.
Okay.
You know, you won't be asleep. You won't be in the couch.
Okay.
You'll be sitting on it.
And I might just turn on Netflix real quick and be like, you know what? Let me just make sure I have my water over here before I even try this. Okay, next question. What is your most memorable memory from when you were playing for the Sonics?
Man, my most memorable moment is don't laugh at this, is gonna be me stepping out there the first time that I played. You know, the first time that I played, I was only 18 years old, so it was a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal for me, a big deal for my confidence, and I had these bubble guts, man. It was just like, I was feeling, you're feeling so good about things, but then you realize that I was like the 13th man on the 13th person on the 13-man roster. so I was so happy to be in the NBA, but I was realizing that I had so much work to do.
Yeah.
And I think that first game, man, me realizing that, looking at this list and saying I'm the 13th person out of 13 guys. I've really got to handle my business the right way. I didn't realize that making it wasn't going to feel so good. Once you've made it, you realize that now you really have to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in high school, you were always the number one guy.
Absolutely.
Like, there was no one that was beating you back then.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just, you have these fears. And I think that's one of the reasons that I still do business currently to this day. I went from high school to pro. And you have those fears of not doing well. So you always want to challenge yourself to doing something positive, and I think that's just something that you carry around inside yourself.
Now, one thing I did notice is that, when you first started, like you said, you started at number 13, so you weren't the number one guy on the field. You were dropping balls, you were missing shots. But then, you were like, okay, I need to do something here.
Yeah.
What were like 3 things that you really did that truly helped you change your game strategy?
Well, 3 things that I did. First of all, I moved into the gym. And as I'm being honest with you, I really thought I was good. Here I am as an 18-year-old kid who's just made it to the NBA. So my confidence was second to none on anything. And I realized that I just wasn't good enough. So I literally had to buy a futon at one time. And this is a true story, me and Gary Payton both. This is, I'll let you guys in on this. We ended up having to buy futons and spend most of the night working out when guys didn't realize that we were working out. We were trying to get an advantage on guys. So when guys would go out to the club, when guys would go to the bed, we would go back to the gym, work our butts off, trying to get an advantage on them.
Wow, and then you go to sleep in there and then
We
work
would
out
go
when
to
you
sleep
woke
in there
up.
and be in there and be ready for practice in the morning.
And they just didn't know.
No, we wouldn't tell anybody. Absolutely not.
So basically, you shocked the heck out of the whole team eventually when they were just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, we got it from a coach. A coach's name was Tim Gergridge. Used to coach at UNLV. One of George Karl's assistants. Really challenged us to be better than who we were. At one time, me and Gary was playing here in Seattle, and the Sonics were talking about trading both of us. They didn't think we were mature enough, and they didn't think we were good enough, and they didn't think we worked hard enough. So, hearing those things, it either makes you or breaks you. We took that as a challenge and said that, hey, we will take those boos and turn them into cheers. So we just, we just went and worked our butt off. I think Coach Karl sent us to Utah for 3 months.
Wow.
So it was quite of a sacrifice of a summer. But
it was worth it.
Absolutely, it was worth it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
my God,
Well, those are the things that you have to do in order for you to reach greatness. Sometimes you have to be challenged, and you have to accept that challenge without conflict and rise.
Now, one more question. Have you seen the next Shawn Kemp yet?
No, I haven't.
No.
Not quite. No. First of all, I think, and I'm talking about myself. I haven't. I've seen guys who have the talent and the skill set of me, but I haven't seen the hunger or the determination yet. I have not. But I will say this: Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant also went from high school to pro. I knew those guys when they were young. You know, we had a little bit of a relationship before they got into the pros. I lived a lot of my goals through those guys because I was able to talk to those two when they were young and help them out with their training, help them see some things, help them see things that they didn't have to go through of that nature. And that's always been very, very, very special to me.
Well, shoot, we'll see who ends up pulling up to get that hunger. And I agree with you. You know, it's one of those things where when you're able to come from the bottom and then just shoot up to the top because you really worked for it, there's a different level of respect that everyone has no choice but to give you in that moment.
No, absolutely. I think, respect is earned, not given.
Yeah.
So you have to earn it. And I think, will it happen? Sure it will. It's just a matter of time. And, one of the things that I think they have to do is change the age limit back in the NBA with these guys. Where I was able to come out right out of high school, now you have to be about 21 to get into the NBA. That needs to be changed because you can't stop a person from earning a living after they get out of high school. You see tennis stars, you see baseball stars, you see hockey stars of that nature, all young kids rising up. And the NBA should be the same thing. The age should be down to 18 where you have to be just at least 18 years old to get into the NBA. And you might see some of that hunger.
Maybe.
It's out there for sure.
Especially because you're like, I'm the young one. I cannot be getting tossed around by these grown men.
Absolutely, and that was my take on it too. My take on it was absolutely I cannot continually get tossed around and beat up the way these guys are beating me up.
You're not gonna keep trying me. We're not doing this like you thought.
I'm gonna go live in the gym.
Yes, I love that. Well, shoot, you guys, look, you got to want it enough to where you're able to live in the gym and really get it done and practice and make sure you take that proper mentorships, all right? And sometimes give up your summers, okay? With that being said, is there anything coming up next that you want to let everyone know about?
No, I'm headed to the NBA All-Star game this weekend.
Yay.
And that's in Utah, the great city of Salt Lake. So we're going to be down there celebrating another good year of the NBA. Make sure you come to both of my stores, cannabis stores in Seattle. If you're a non-Seattle person, but if you are in Seattle, please come to the Soto store and please come to the Belltown store. We surely appreciate it.
I love it. Well, shoot, Rayman, I got to say thank you for pulling up on me. This is amazeballs. I put on Facebook, I said, you guys wait till you find out who I'm interviewing. And everyone's like, who? I said wait. I didn't say I was going to give you a hint. I told you to wait.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Of course. Well, shoot, you guys, you already know what I'm going to say. I hope that you enjoyed this interview. I hope that you learned something or even got inspired. But, of course, until next time, look, I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. And, of course, keep that energy high.